Good afternoon, Shaky SoCal, with the second track guide for next week's races, which I think this is actually race one at Silverstone International in this Audi RS6 Avant. This, again, more of a high-speed circuit than the more technical Mid-Ohio Short, but we'll do standard track guide. I'm going to go out and run some laps just to get up to speed. Probably do a slow kind of, the track walk to kind of point out some things that I'm looking for. Then I'm going to run a mock race just to guesstimate. I'd like to have some traffic to race against and kind of get a feel for what the race might be like on Thursday. So with that, just going to go ahead and get straight away into this. Again, usually when I do these kind of test laps, I always do medium tires to 50% fuel. Figure that's kind of a good balance of what of pace. As far as it's not too soft, it's not too hard, it's medium. It's not too full, it's not too much fuel, too little fuel. It's the Goldilocks setup. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and run some laps. Again, the car does really good accelerating in a straight line. Tires, going to cross the curb there. Breathe the throttle a little bit here at apex so it doesn't push too wide. Brake in between the curbings, down to second gear. Keep it about mid-track. Lift as I turn in. This turn is what's going to cause me trouble during the race because I don't have any reference points. Third gear, onto the hanger straight. Braking is halfway between that board and the turn side. Gonna cheat across the track a little bit, probably cheated a little too much. And push, 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 push. Fourth gear, use a little bit of that exit curbing. Brake at the 3. Down to second gear, stay off the curbing. Ooh, second gear, not third. Short shift to third. Short shift to fourth, balance the throttle. Forward on the way out. Let's do a couple more. Brake at the turn sign. Off the curb a little bit. I want to try and get on the curb if I can. I went down the second because I think it was a little too aggressive. A little late. That's a better word. Brake right about now. That's better. Down to third. Short shift to fourth. Can use a lot of that curbing if I need to. A little too much. That's why we practice. I want to try and get on that curb a little bit more. But that might just be the tires. I might adjust my braking a little bit. It's a little early. That's going to be slow. Leave it in third. Ideally, I want to do that in third. I got the little marker there because I can. Turning a little early now for that. That needs to be a little bit later. Okay, so let's do the track walk. So I'm fifth gear here, coming down to turn 1, and I always forget. I'm not sure if this one's farm or the next one's farm, but this section is called farm, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I looked at the circuit map, but I'm using the turn indicator for my braking. So I'll adjust that, based off the compound. The hards, I probably need to brake a little bit before it. The mediums about at it, maybe. The softs maybe at it, maybe a little past it. So it depends how well I do my braking. And again, I notoriously, as the race goes on, sometimes I get a little soft in the pedal. Um, it's a personal problem. So fifth gear, I'm going to hit the brakes down to fourth. What I may try and do is instead of braking straight line here, then releasing the brake to turn in, I might try and cheat I might try and cheat and actually, as I get to the point where I'm about to start braking, come on, where's the braking sign? What I may do is I may point the car slightly in, so I'm kind of braking not parallel to the outside curbing, but maybe cheating across the track a little bit, maybe to get in about mid-track. Because what I want to try to do is brake, 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 brake. Is when I release the brakes to actually turn the car, I'd like to try and hit, you know, cross over that curb, and thank God they fixed the red squares of death. That was a nice update early on. Thank you, Forza. But yeah, ideally, you can use a lot of this inside curving without fear of track penalty or damage. So, or getting caught up on the red squares of death. Um, so, more often than not, we wouldn't be surprised if we push wide here. But ultimately, if I get this right, coming off this curb should put the car maybe about mid-track, maybe a little bit to the left. I wouldn't be surprised if early on we're all going all the way left like the Formula One cars do. But those Formula One cars have a lot more downforce than we're working with, and they weigh like less than half what we're driving. So ideally, I want to try and have the car mid-track. It makes this next left-hander a little bit easier. You will have to breathe the throttle a little bit as you get to apex. Again, try to get on the curbing a little bit, roll back on the throttle. I'm going to try and only bring the car up about mid-track before I bring it back across. Braking for this next corner, it is greater than 90 degrees, and so I'm going to try and late apex it if I can. I think I'm late apexing it. Hard for me to know. Um, but as far as where I'm gauging the braking, depending on the tire and my confidence level, I'm going to try and brake right where the outside curving starts at the latest, to be able to make the corner. Depending on what's going on, sometimes it might be between where the curving on the right ends and it begins on the left. But definitely the absolute latest that I think I'm going to be able to get on the brakes and still be able to make the corner is where this curving starts. So brake, 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 down to second gear, release the brakes, turn in. I'm going to try and late apex it as much as I can and staying off the red sausage curbs. They will upset this car. So get on the curb a little bit, stay off the red curb. But yeah, I do like late apexing it. Ooh, excuse me, just so I can, again, the late apex allows me to get the car, mid track a little bit, maybe cheat a little bit to the right. It opens up this next left hander a bit. Again, this car does not like to turn and accelerate at the same time. So anything I can do to make it easier to turn this car in, the better. So again, I'll be out, roll back into the throttle. I'll need to lift a little bit to turn the car in. I'm going to try and late apex this turn here so that I exit on the left side pointed so the car's lined up and balanced. That's what I'm going to try and do. Probably won't happen. I might, you know, push a little wide in the middle and have to bring the car back across. We'll see how it goes in the race. This next turn for me, because I don't run the braking line, is going to be the hardest for me to get right consistently because there is absolutely no definitive, at least definitive that I can find, breaking point. I think I've got one. It's just tough for me to consistently know where I need to brake. And lap over lap, my speed will be different depending on how well I've come through the previous two corners. So, but what I think is going to work for me is the red tent that's on the right side. That seems to be as that's going out of view. If I'm in fourth or third gear, this is about where I need to brake. On the left side here, it looks like it kind of lines up with where the sand trap ends, but that red tent's easier to see. So that's me in test drive right now with perfect lighting and like that. Who knows what'll happen in at night or in different weather. but that's what I'm trying to do. For me, ideally, I think if you get it right, if you get the braking right, this corner you should take it in third. If you find that you're pushing a little bit, you need to drop it to second to help get a little more weight on the front of the car, get get the diff to kind of help, you know, get some weight on the front tires and make the turn a little sharper. Second gear's fine, I think, but if you can do it in third, I think that's better, especially on the exit, because then you can use that turbo, you can use that all-wheel drive, and the torque out of the corner. If you're in second, you're going to be shifting probably a little before you're fully out of the corner, and I tend to, it's a Jackie Stewart thing. It's, if you can find that, you can carry that more speed in where you're in that gear higher, you have more rev range to work with on the exit. So he explains it much better than I do, but that's my story, and I'll stick to it. So again, get on the curb a little bit here, third gear all the way out. I am going to take advantage of track limits, and you can get pretty far across without tripping it. I think if you get, you know, I mean, I'm even being conservative. I don't have the line on to see exactly where it is, but it looks like they've got it all the way out. Yeah, they've got it. It looks like at this point they've got it all the way out here. It's just a question of where is that line earlier? How far can you? And maybe, whoops, and it might be where the cones are. Let's see. Yeah. So that track limit line, again, I don't run the track limit line anymore either, but you've essentially got pretty much, if you bring all the car all the way out here, you're still not violating track limits. Personally, for me, I'm going to kind of treat it like I did in Forza 7, where I'm going to use the white line and just kind of straddle it at worst. But we'll see how it goes in the race. But again, you just got a lot more runoff to work with than you think you have. All right, heading up the Hangar Straight towards the last couple of corners. For me in this car right now, my confidence level tells me I am braking halfway between the floorboard and the turn board. It also, kind of correlates as well. Again, the FRAV, no, not PRAV, whatever that is, because I'm not British. It kind of lines up with where, when you pass the kind of the tent there, and as you get to the hospitality tent, there on the right side. So brake, 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 brake. You'll probably see me do two different types of turn in for this corner, and I forget the name of it. It'll pop in my head later. It's either I'm going to brake straight, kind of do what the car does best, and brake in a straight line, then release and turn in. It's a little bit later of a turn in. It opens me up for a little bit if someone wants to try and shoot the gap under braking. What I may try to start doing as I get confidence is kind of like turn one, where I'll brake in a straight line, but I'm going to angle the car towards the inside curbing, so that I'm braking a straight line there. It's a shallower entry, but if I get my speed down enough, then I can make up for it. So it might, again, it's that difference between how much entry speed. I think I can carry a bit more entry speed or brake a little bit later, but I'll be sacrificing mid corner and maybe some exit. We'll see. Probably overthinking it, but ultimately, whichever braking method you choose, brake, 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 down. Fourth gear, if you can carry the speed through and you've got it slowed down enough. Third gear, if you need to get a little more turn in. But what I'm going to try and do is get onto the curbing and use, for me, the apex is a later apex, somewhere between the second and third, maybe closer to the third, red square of death. Pull back into the throttle. Third gear, fourth gear, I'll probably straddle the exit curbing here, bring the car back across. Bring the car back across to the right. Braking will be the three board, down to second gear, set for the last couple of corners. Now, I'm notoriously, I think, compared to others, I might be a little bit slower, at least for the line I take through here. So take it for what it's worth. But it is second gear, turn in, late, a little bit, well, maybe about the apex. Again, really trying to avoid the red inside curbing, but I want to get on the curbing, bring the car back across. It's this next turn and then balancing the car, back on the front straight. It is, again, It is a sharp turn. What I'm actually trying to do is when I release the throttle and turn in, I'm actually aiming the car. I do want to get on the curbing, but I'm kind of aiming, playing chicken with the beginning of the red curbing here on the inside. I don't want to hit it, but I just want to just be right, have my tires right next to it at this point. And the idea is rolling back into the throttle out, bring the car out to the outside curbing, short shift to third, roll in, out of the throttle, turn in, short shift to fourth. And this is where I was starting to turn in a little bit early in the last couple of demo laps. But what I'm trying to do is if I can get the turn in a little bit later, I can start rolling back into the throttle in fourth gear way back here. And then just kind of balance it all the way through, hopefully being able to commit to full throttle at or before or just before the apex, be fully into back to full throttle, and then just kind of take advantage of the exit. If I need to get, to straddle the exit curbing, great, I can. Ideally, maybe get on it. That's what I'm trying to do. But I want to try and short shift to fourth for that final corner onto the front stretch and cross the line, start the next lap. So that's what I'm intending to do. We'll actually see how well it works in the race and in conditions. But with that, I'm gonna actually go ahead and switch over and let's actually run a mock race. We'll exit, quit race, and then let's go back to my little cheat sheet for how many laps we need to do. Lap time is a little bit quicker here compared to Mid-Ohio. By about 8 seconds, at least by my own testing. Let's go Audi. There we go. Sorry, had to make a rude noise. Circuit race, Silverstone International. So it's a faster lap, obviously, because we have that hanger straight there, and so it is probably going to be closer to 29 laps, give or take a lap. We'll go random, rolling for 20%, part of the clay. Nope, we're going to go random, but I will not do rain. Sorry, Forza. Cars, sport luxury, no, not sport luxury, any. Because I want that 10820 Audi 2124 should only be one RS6 Avant. That should take care of the whole "you're in the wrong car" issues on the setup. Rules, sport rules. Again, Forza, what I will say, I don't know. You have two RS6 Avants with different years. It'd be nice in your little model there if you throw if you throw something, maybe not the model, but whatever the actual car name is that shows up in the rivals boards or the race results, that would be a little bit clearer here. Just a suggestion. Rules, sport rules, 5, disqualification, standing random, that's fine. I am going to make everybody do 3 stops. If I have to do 3 stops, everybody has to do 3 stops. Plus, it makes the race a little more interesting. Because again, the driver cars run long. They're not afraid to go past 60% on the tires. All right, let's go ahead and accept that. Okay, what are you going to give us? Another night race. All right. So tell us about Silverstone.
Late in the race, the outside of turns could be covered in rubber marbles from everyone's tires. So take that into account before attempting to pass slower traffic.
Really? Does Forza really simulate tire marbles? And maybe that's just the difference. I don't know that Forza does the marbles as much as that there's going to be more grip on the rubbered in line compared to not on the line. So maybe that's kind of the advice there. So pay attention to the rubbered in line during the race. But we are doing, I swear it's the exact same. I don't know if the time is the same, but it's against that thundercloud. That's fine. Okay, so so tire strategy, and again, I'll post the sum ups on race night. But Silverstone is much like the other the week 1 tracks. 5 laps on the soft, 7 laps on the medium, 9 laps on the hard. to that 60% point. So give or take a lap, depending on how good you are on your tires. And then once it goes past 60%, then it kind of degrades pretty quickly. That 70%, 60 to 70 usually takes about a lap. And then 70 to 80, I think it hits much quicker. So again, your mileage may vary. But let's see, for a 29 lap race, let's see, I'll do 2 stints, 18. So 18 plus 5 or 18 plus 7 is 25. And yeah, so actually I'll do the same. It'll be about the same tire strategy that I did at Mid-Ohio. So I'll do 2 stints on the hards, but I will actually run 9 laps on each. 9, 9, 18, add 7 for the mediums, which is 18, 25. And then I only have to do 4 laps on the soft. So actually on the mediums, so maybe what I'll do is I'll do 9 laps to start, 8 laps on the second set of hards, 7 on the mediums, and then finish off on the softs for 5. So let's see if my math plays out with that one. So fuel and tire. And okay. Huh. Okay, so I'm horrible with percentages. So, all right, since we're gonna have to take on fuel, I think what we'll do is we'll set for 10 laps. We'll do 36%. Start on the hards, but we'll start with a light fuel load. And then I got to figure out, okay, so if I'm going to do 579 on a 29 lap race, okay, that actually will make the math a little bit easier then, because when I come in, I only have to put enough percentage in to run slightly over 20 laps for the rest of the race. Okay, I think I can do this. This is why there are pit crews and strategists and all that. It's a little too much mathing for me. All right, let's go ahead and start race. I do think, like I talked about in the last video, I think I'm going to find a way to put a pit strategy cheat sheet, where I can just reference it. Where am I starting? Oh, I'm almost starting at the back. That'll make this a little bit easy. Go ahead, go by me. Tires, yep, you've got cold tires too. Nope, not going to force that. Oh, come on, guys. You can go quicker than this. Well, so I got 2.5 seconds for that. The inside. Hopefully I can see. I'm really not going to be able to see that board, am I? Brake a little early. Be a little conservative. Oh, that's going to be bad. Thank you. Appreciate that. Straighten me out. That's going to be 2.5. No. Oh, Stuart's being generous. First lap's done. Let's just kind of settle in. Yeah, I'm kind of there. My car's not going to ghost on you. It comes up quick. Also on the hard compound, so it's not going to stop as quickly. Bing. Okay, so as long as nobody knocks down the big board there, should be able to see it at night pretty easily. I should have stayed at second there a little longer. That's a bit early. I'll figure that one out. All right, gotta take full advantage of the track limits there. It'll take me a few laps to get into rhythm for that turn. I think that was the best I've taken that turn so far. And just ever so slightly wants to step out. But, you know, for as much as we make fun of Voodoo for this tune, it's like it could be worse. You know, the back end could be snappy as all get out. Pay attention. Make sure I pit at the end of lap 9. The other thing to be careful of the outside curbing there, because you have so much lean on the car, so much weight on that left side. You know, the back end may step out on you depending on how much throttle you have at the time you hit it. So just be careful on the outside curve still. Ooh, that's a little bit wired on the right than I want it to be. I think I'm still not doing that right-hander ideally correctly. I guess that's the best way to put it. Can be quicker through there. I just need to figure it out. Oh, that's going to be bad. The back of the car does not like curbs under braking, so just be mindful of that. Yeah, that's better. Pushing, just let it push. That's fine. Balance with the throttle. Get it back online. 3 laps of fuel remaining, that's fine. Probably a little bit late on the braking there. Made it work though. I think Rodeo's tires are about done. Yeah, they're done. You need to pit, Rodeo. We'll see if we see that little pit icon come up here. Oh, that was almost a little too wide. Let's do a tire check on. Do a tire check next time on the straight. But again, I think because my first initial lap is always so slow just because of all the traffic. I probably have a little more tire life now than I will on Thursday at this point. Yep, there he goes. Minor. I'll probably get minor tire wear a little bit earlier in the stint or in the lap on race night. Yeah, but we have to pit, so no choice. Yep. Okay, bring the car back across, straight in. All right, let's see if I do this right. Hard tires, 20 laps worth of fuel. Hard tires, custom, 80%. Okay, there's a little more, but again, since it's by percentage and not by number of laps, fine. Pretty easy out, pretty easy rejoin. It's just making sure I know exactly where I need to brake for the turn. Okay, so we're going to take these to lap 18. Actually, let me think about this again. I had this all clear in my head before I started the race. No, if I take it to lap 17 and then take advantage of the full stint on the mediums instead of, again, it's how do I get to the soft, how can I run the most laps on the softest compounds? So go to the end of lap 17. End of lap 17, go to the mediums for 7 laps. That's 24, 5 laps on the soft. Yep, there we go. So I'll do 1 lap less on these tires. Turn. Again, I'm much heavier with the fuel load, so. Got to be careful snapping off the throttle for that because you know the back end will start to skate a little bit. But a little counter steering can help. Even rolling back into the throttle a little bit because the front will pull the car out of the slide. Keep the back end in check. It's a little bit late, but I'll work with it. What's nice is in the race, there's a big, sponsor bottle of, I'm guessing it's a big, balloon oil bottle that's well lit. So that's helping me get the braking done there. I don't know if it's an oil bottle or is it an antifreeze bottle. Really. That's pretty good there. I knew as soon as I hit the throttle that it's like, yep, I'm going to push wide a little bit. Give me some space. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's going to go too wide. Noted. The red squares of death will upset the car a little bit. 9, 18. Okay, box the slap. Again, oh, can't do math in my head. Mediums for 7. Trying to really take advantage of those track limits out there. Yay. All right, we did our mathing right. So let's go to mediums. And I don't need to take fuel. Yep. Notice that that they puts the default treaded tires on. That's a nitpicky thing. Oh. Just lift a little bit so you can keep the car to the right side. It's just being respectful of cars that might be at full speed. I think I do have a tire advantage right now. Either by compound or wear. Not. Could have been a little bit better, but get out of this corner. There's no guarantee that outside pass will work on Thursday. If the opponent doesn't want to leave room, because technically I'm off the circuit at that point, so. A little bit of a draft here. A little bit more to the inside. A little early. that could have been better. I think it was just a little too far to the left, and like I am here as well. So I got to compromise that corner a little bit to try and get back into a groove. There we go. Doing pretty well on the mediums here, but oh, that's late. That's late. Thank God for runoff. That was late. Back end wants to step out. We're doing good. Doing well. There, better English. I'd say Dan's probably, based off pace, probably running softs, and he still has to make a third stop, so. Figure based off what I expect, we'll probably pit next lap. A little bit late, that's all right though. Looks like it's going to be a shootout between Dan and I. Or not. I may have just passed him in the pits. Okay, soft. Skip. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's see if we can leapfrog him. Yes. We are going to be merged. We're going to be one big yellow car. There we go. Thank you. When you exit the pits, if you just stay all the way to the right and just brake where the curbing starts, you should be able to make the corner no problem. Alright, so I think I am the leader of the cars that have made their third stop. Almost do that flat, but a little bit too late on the brakes. Okay, now Royce has already made his third stop, so we got to run him down.
Three to go.
Copy that. Come on. Thinking about just trying to strategize the rest of the race, missed the braking point. That may have cost me. At least second place. Gather it up. Let's get going. Hopefully they start fighting and catch up. Focus, focus. This is where I probably could do this in fourth on the softs.
Last lap.
That's going to cost me.
Total time penalty is about 1.5 seconds.
Again, I'm trying it for the win. I'm trying to at least improve podium spot. So well clear of Ron. So All good. Oh, there's moderate. Ugh. Oh, that is Silverstone International in this Audi RS6 Avant station wagon. Oh, sorry, estate. But yeah, 34:39. Actually, well, yeah, 29 laps is probably the way I look at it is if my race time with me starting in the back is under 35 minutes, then the laps that I picked is probably accurate because again, there's that, at least the bucket for, there's an 80-second delay there. So you tack that on, that's another, that puts it, over 35 for the total time. So 29 laps is probably very close, if not the race length for Thursday. But I think that's going to do it for the track guides this week. At least watch the podium, I don't get many of these. So yes, I'm on the podium. Royston second, almost had you, and nicely done, Church Pro. So hope you guys are having a good weekend. We'll see you on track Thursday. Happy racing.